Welcome back. Here we are again with the '04 RTV 900 preservation. Everything's back apart again because I decided to do more stupid stuff. So if you ever see me or meet me in person, just hit me in the head with the 2x4. Um, Besides that, yeah, here it is. I had it together here. That's the aluminum I used. That's an old aluminum sign. Um, That's been coated with the truck bed coating, along with everything on the floor here, truck bed coating. I decided to make a glove box for this machine. I wasn't going to pay you 160 bucks for a glove box online. So I made one from an old Jeep, like I showed in one of my previous videos. Where's the glove box? Here's the glove box. This is the glove box I built. Oops, there goes the stainless screws with the little bracket. This will bolt in. I apologize already for the lousy camera action, but this will bolt in up underneath here, nice and straight. I coated that as well, so it's durable. Got a drain hole in the bottom. And then the only thing I have painted that was the Kubota gray was the lid for the glove box with the interior paint made for, well, not interior paint, but made for that material. So this is the Kubota gray. That's the glove box cover. I had to take it apart because I'm an idiot and I took everything apart again. But I've been using nut certs in a lot of spots, like in the chassis there for the glove box. Drill the hole, put a nut cert in, so there's no nuts and bolts. It's nice and easy to be removed and put back together. Here's the seat base that I did. Covered up a couple stickers that I had. I like to get new stickers, but I don't seem to find these anywhere. What else do we got going on here? I got from the junkyard. I went and got some old lawnmower tractor seats. Here's the molding. They put these moldings on tractor seats. You can take them off of any old junk tractor. Usually the seats are ripped. Take this molding off. It's a little molding here. It's meant for thin steel, and it's flexible. This thing doesn't have a memory to these things, so you can obviously. This was on a seat. It will straighten right out. Of course, if you put a hairdryer heat gun to it, it straightens out even better. But it doesn't hold a memory. So I'm going to use this molding around the floor edge right here. I'll clean it all up, and this will fit nice and tight. Go around the corners on the floor. I can't do it with one hand. Also, I'm going to put a little piece around where the diff lock is. And then also on my fender wells. I don't actually know, not on the fender wells because you won't see it. That gets covered by the side fender skirt, plastic skirt. So I don't have to waste it there. But on all the other places, I might even use it on the bed, the new tailgate I got to make. But yeah, just a little hint there. You can take the moldings off of tractor seats. They work great. What else we got going on? There's a lot going on here. My seat. I should have videoed it. I didn't. The seat had one of those aftermarket seat covers on there. Same. This was it. There was big holes in the foam and everything. Big chunks taken out of it. One whole side was gone on the driver's side. What I did was duct taped a piece of cardboard. I think I have pictures. I could post some pictures up on the forum too if anybody is interested. From the forum, the Net Tractor forum. I'll post pictures if you're interested in fixing your seat. Get a piece of cardboard, duct taped it around the whole side. So I had a back plate here. I got spray foamed insulation, filled in the holes with big spray foam insulation. Once it dried, take the cardboard off. It doesn't stick to the cardboard. So I had a nice curve there. But then you get like a 36 grit or 40 grit sandpaper and a sander, and you just shape the foam to the seat again. So I was able to make my cutouts in the seat where your butt goes on both sides. Repaired the seat, and then I have this material. I have a big roll of this material from a friend's dad that passed away, and I just recovered the seat quick with the camo material. Here's the roll right here. I still have to do the back. I'm gonna do the back next. Here's the fenders. I did a lot of plastic welding yesterday, the day before. I had another old glove box from a Jeep, so I cut the plastic apart from the glove box, and I melted it in. I made a little iron. I'll show you in a minute. But these fenders couldn't really repair some of the waviness here. I tried a little bit, got the best I could, but there were sections here, I'll show you on the back side, that were missing. There were chunks taken right out, and you can't tell the chunks were even taken out now in a few spots. I'll show you that. What you do is heat the plastic up and solder some plastic in there, pretty much. Let me show you on the other one too. It's even better to see on the other one because I didn't clean it up on the back side as much. I'll bring it out in the light here. This one was missing big chunks. You can't tell anymore. The whole front of this one was gone. I'll show you on the back side what I did here. Flip it over in two spots, actually. Here we go. Can you see that? There you go. See all the plastic gooped in there? There's a couple layers of plastic in there. That whole section was missing. I'll show you how I used I'll show you how I did it in a minute. But now if you look at it, you can't even tell. I mean, you could have actually painted this regular paint, and this isn't hiding much at all. It's just hiding the rough scratch marks I used to, so this would adhere. I roughed everything up with like 40 grit. But yeah, that's all, that's done. There was another section here on the back I had to put plastic in. Show you again. Hey, all gone. So yeah, these are all set to be put on. Hopefully it'll be somewhat durable. Put this back for a minute. What I used, so I'm not jumping all over the place here, what I used, I made my own tool. It's just a pair of vice grips. Just a pair of vice grips right here. It's a piece of steel, thin piece of steel. I don't know what, not too thin, I don't know what that is. 1/8 inch maybe steel plate. So I bent it, formed that shape, made a triangle. So now when you just heat this with the plumber's torch, I brought the torch inside. I had to light a fire last night, cooked on a fire, but just a regular plumber's torch, a little propane torch. I used the MAP gas, the yellow, and you can still see the plastic on this thing. Some of the plastic, but you heat that up, turn it cherry red, and use the point to like tack weld. You put you just touch the plastic together, and it'll hold the plastic together. That's just for holding it together, the new piece of plastic when you put it in there. You got to use filler plastic. You can't just put two pieces of plastic together. There's not enough material. It's just like welding. Basically the same thing as welding. You got to have a filler material. And you can use any plastic. Even that's different colors if you want colors. This is my old glove box I used. Let me put this down. Here's the old glove box I use. I just ripped pieces of plastic out of this, as you can see, and I used that. So when you had, say if this was the hole, say if I wanted to fill, and this is too big, actually this wouldn't be bad, actually you could fill this whole hole if you wanted to. This was a hole I wanted to fill, get another piece of plastic, bigger than this hole, doesn't have to be cut out perfect, just get one bigger than this hole so it overlaps. Heat this cherry red. What you do is tack it in place. Use the tip. Melt the two plastics together in a few areas. That way it's held in place. Then heat this back up again, cherry red. Use the flat side and just like a spatula, melt the two together. You can form it. You can flatten it. You can heat when this dries off. When this cools off a little bit, you can use it to smoothen things out. And then if you have a bend or something, you can use the bend part for the angle, you know? That's exactly what I did on the fenders. You got to keep heating this up. It only lasts probably a minute at a time. But, you know, it's not a big deal. And it saves you a lot of money from buying stuff. So you can do it, definitely do things that way. What else can I show? I took the fender wells out because, all right, let me see here. Oh, here we go. Because the fender wells are galvanized metal, you got to use zinc primer. Nothing's going to stick to the galvanized if you use galvanized. So you got to use a zinc coated primer for adhesion. So the back side, this is the underneath of the fender. I put some primer on there. It's drying up. And then I'm just going to paint it black just to cover it up on the inside. But also I bought, if you notice here, how I said in my last video, I want to keep the cab sealed. I got 5/8 thick the foam. So underneath the fender wells where it meets the floorboard, I have all foam here. That'll help keep a seal. I'll show you what I used. I think it's a Frost King product. I'm not too sure. Here we go. Frost King product. Yep, rubber foam, 3/8 wide, 7/16 thick, 10-foot rolls. Not very expensive. I think $4 or $5 a roll. I got 2 rolls here. I'm going to put it underneath the fenders before I put them back in. And I'm also going to put it underneath. There's a space here. There's a gap for the centerpiece under the foot pedals. That's going to come back out. And if you can see with the camera, see the gap underneath there? Even once it's bolted down, there's a little bit of a gap. So I'm going to put some sealer there. See, I'm going to build doors for this, I think. So I want this sealed up, you know, the best I can anyway. What else do we got here going on? We got a lot. Here's my roof. I sanded that down quick yesterday on the inside, and I painted it, used the truck bed coating on this. The sun's giving it a weird glare. I don't know, but it did come out nice. I'm not sure what I'm going to do on the outside yet. I mean, the black would attract heat on the outside. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do yet. I might do it the Kubota orange. Here's the front grill sort of. I did that also with the black. I have the nose off right now. I'll show you another thing I did with the nose. I had a big chunk missing out of the nose. As you can see, that black filler, that was the whole chunk that's hard to see with the truck bed there. There we go. That piece was missing. It looked terrible. I'm doing the whole machine. Why not fix it? So I did stencil out a piece of black plastic to fit it in the crack there. There was a crack going up as well, and that chunk was missing. That black chunk was missing. So I V'd out that crack. I'm going to fill that in with some plastic. And I put just some temporary glue, some boat cork. If you're watching this, Dad, yes, I stole some of your boat cork. I'm sorry. I apologize. Just to hold that in place right now on the backside. I'm going to fill that in with the welding, with the heat thing, and then I'll sand it down roughly. And what I'll do is to fill in the gap so you don't see it at all. Since I'm not going to paint the whole nose. I'm going to get the truck bed coat one, I believe, and I'll mask off a line somewhere around here, or actually above that crack, so I can hide it. Probably at this body line. I'll mask this off here, and I might go across to the other side to match it, or maybe I'll just do the side and I'll fade it down a little bit, like where the tire goes as a fender well. Maybe I'll just paint it there, and I'll come down. I'll do the same on the other side to match it. And that'll hide all of that repair, you know, and the nose will stay. 'Cause I want to keep the nose orange, obviously. I like that look. I thought about painting it, but it wouldn't look right. The other thing, what else did I have on this? Oh yeah, I had a big crack on the nose. I had a big crack on the nose right here. There was a big chunk taken out here. You can still see the marks. Let's see here. See the line where I cut it? There's a very thin line there you can see from the pen. What happened was this plastic went down further. This line continued all the way to about here, and then went up to this. So rather than having to repair this part too, I extended it. I cut this more. I traced the other side so I had the same angle. I cut it out, so instead of having the nose come down here like it originally did from the factory, I cut this further off, and then I dipped it down. So I eliminated the big piece that was broken. And then what I did here was the same thing. Rather than, it's hard to see with the black truck, rather than it sloping down here and going across, I cut it right here. I made the line further, and then I brought it down so it matches the other side in the same spot. You can still see some of the, I didn't wipe off pen line yet. So this is going to be almost ready to be put back together. Final assembly for everything pretty much soon, hopefully. What else do I got to do? I got the windshield here. I started chipping, had the metal on the, started to rust over here. It didn't rot, thank God, but it's starting to rust. So I'm gonna open the window up, clean all this up, and POR it really, really well so it'll stop the rust before I put this back together. You can see these are the old metal floorboards that were in there. This is the factory steel. Triangle piece that goes in the middle, or one of them. The bed isn't that bad. The sides are good. The back has a little bit of a an arc to it. I'll straighten that out with the loader. The bottom is junk. I'm probably gonna replace the bottom with some new diamond plate. This side's good. The tailgate's shot. Here's my tailgate. If anybody on the forum knows of a tailgate that I can buy fairly cheap, I will. I mean, I could probably fix this. I could cut this. This is plated here. I probably could fix this. It's just a lot of work. The actual frame itself, the tubular frame, is completely shot, so that had to be cut out. And hey, it could be fixed, but look at it. It's already been hacked up so bad, man. Just replace it. Make a new one. The frame isn't bad. It's got a couple bends in it, but it's fixable. So the gate is, the dump bed isn't that bad. So I still have a little bit more work to do there. What else? Let me see. What else is going on? I got some diamond plate here. Aluminum diamond plate. Once this goes back together, there's a spot right here. I'm not sure what was supposed to be there. I think a little piece of plastic. What I'm going to do is get a piece of the aluminum diamond plate, put it there, and bend it to an L. I'll make an angle on it, bend the piece down. That'll be for finish. Maybe I'll do it black, or I don't know. I'll see. Probably paint it black with the POR, with the truck bed coating. What else we got? We got the like I said, the John Deere, or Cupkit, I forgot which one this is, off the lawnmower. I'm probably going to insert this in the front, right around the pedals, probably around there. I'm probably just going to clean that up. There's no need to paint that. It'll look good once it's cleaned up. But that'll be a nice spot for your feet. It won't wear the floor out as much. I'm going stupid here, that's for sure. Anyway, yep, so far, that's where we're at. Oh, for the seat, so I had a little bit extra clearance. I got the truck mud flap right here, the rubber. I drilled a hole inside where the seat mounts on the chassis. I put one of those nutserts, quarter 24 tread. Put two flathead screws recessed in the mud flap. That brings me up almost a ½ inch, just to give me a little bit of extra clearance around the fan. It wasn't hitting. I just wanted it to be secured, make sure on heavy bumps and stuff like that, I wouldn't hit the oversized fan. Also, what I did was, there's a cutout in the seat base where the fan would go. I'll show you the other piece. I cut this out here. What I'm gonna do is, where is the old piece? Son of a gun. This camera, I hope I'm not making everybody dizzy with the camera work. I don't know where the old piece is I cut out. I don't see it. Do I see it? No, I don't. Anyway, I bought fiberglass right here. It's a fiberglass matting. I'm gonna form a new piece, a new section here where the fan goes. Rather than having the small cutout that come out here for fan clearance, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. Gives myself some more clearance for the fan. And I'll fiberglass that in. This was an afterthought, or I wouldn't have coated this already. But it's not a big deal. I'll sand down a little bit of this area. That way the fiberglass will take. And I'll just touch it up with a brush. You're not gonna see that at all. I also have to Here's a winch I scored at the junkyard, actually. A brand new winch was at the salvage yard. Look at that. $40. And even had its kubota too. So I'm gonna wire that in. I got my new axles in. Changed the front differential fluid. Changed the axle, the hub fluid. That's all good. Didn't check the brakes, didn't get into them, don't need them, because if I let off the gas pedal, I end up, like I said, 3 towns over. The thing stops quick enough. I don't gotta worry about that. I think that's it for now, but there's a lot going on here. Oh, here we go. Here's the piece I cut out for the fan. You can see that now. This went right here and leaves, you know, for the fan. That gives the little indentation there for the fan. I want a little bit more room, so actually I'm probably going to reuse this now that I think about it. What I'm going to do is bring it out a little bit further. See the distance, rather than there, I'm going to bring it out to here. And I'm going to refiberglass that in there with the fiberglass. It's too much plastic to heat up and fill, so I'll just use the fiberglass for that. Mold it back in. So yeah, I don't know what else. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments, or just hit me up on the Tractor Net forum. All my friends that are watching on the forum, I appreciate it. Not that I'm doing it for any other reason, just to help people, show people this stuff. I picked up a hitch for it. I don't know why they had the small hitches on these. First time I ever dealt with it. I don't know what that is, a 2-inch square maybe? Or no, it's not 2-inch. That's like an inch receiver hitch. I don't know. Found that at the flea market the other day for $5. It's only so low to the ground because I got it jacked way up right now. But yeah, that's everything so far. Oh, the other thing, yeah, here we go. I did some more plastic repair on these. Let me see. I can't even tell which one it was. But one of these, this was all ripped apart, all cracked, going all the way up. Can't even tell. It was the other one, because what I did was I filled in all the holes for the mountain holes too over here. See, there's not even any more holes. I plasticed it all back in. I'll just drill new holes. They had a whole bunch of holes because it was cut. They put zip screws in there and crap. So yeah, I'll show you outside better, the underneath. See? You see all the plastic repair I did? There was all cuts and rips there, and there was a couple of holes there, one there, a couple there I filled in. If the camera's picking it up, I don't know. But that's all filled in and heated back up and plastic welded together. And then there's the outcome. All fixed. So I like it. That plastic welding's kind of new to me. You know, it used to be a joke. Hey, go send the guy to the welding shop for some plastic welding rods. 20 years ago, that was a big joke, you know, send a new guy out to get plastic welding rods. But now it's actually true. But I know they make the plastic welding kit. Never bought one, never even seen one, but the idea is, you know, fill a rod and just making up your own heat gun. I'm sorry, not a heat gun, but just a piece of steel to work the plastic in. Not a big deal at all. Let me see here. What else do I got? Here's a nutsert gun. I got this at Harbor Freight, and I'll tell you what, this is nice because it's small. It gets into the tight spots. I love it. I gotta order more nutserts. I'm going through the 5 and 8 millimeter ones like crazy. That's $1/4 $20. I'm running low, yeah. Even especially on the small ones, the 5 mils. These things are great, man. I love those. Again, I'm putting Never-Seez. I'm putting red thread locker on the nutsert itself on the outside. So it's especially on thin metal, because there's not a lot for it to get to. So it gives it just a little bit of extra there, hold. On thicker metal, you got more hold. You know, like on the steel, you got more hold here, more hold power. So it's not really necessary, but I put a little red Loctite on them. Not on the treads, on the outside where it contacts the steel when it expands. On the threads itself, I use copper, I use the copper Never-Seez. Wherever the heck I put it. Right here, this is what I use on all the threads. Especially on the nutserts. You know how that gets. Things get rusty, dirt caked up with mud. Now you're trying to take the screw out, and the nutsert spins off and gets stuck in there, and now your nutsert's spinning. You got to cut it off. It happened on almost on a bunch of these. It happened on the front grill. The nutsert. Where is it? Oh, the nut there. Look, there's nothing here. The nutsert pulled right out when I went to undo it. It's going there. It's going there. It's going there. There's only one. See? I can't even get this. Can I get that? I don't even know why that one's not coming out. But now I gotta get the nutserts that I bought. Put the 10 mil nutserts in there. And again, I'll use some Loctite, or I might even melt this. I might heat the plastic up. Put the nutsert in there at the same time I'm heating it up, so it really bonds in there thick. Really good. Then I'll have new nutserts in here. So yeah, how else would you fix this if you went to go put this back on now? There's nothing in there. There's no treads. You know? Fill it in with fiberglass or something. Retap it. I don't know. But the nutsert's the way to go. That's the proper way to fix it. That's what was in there. So, yeah, that'll be happening. Oh, man. Finally, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Oh, yeah, another thing is the diff lock. This cable was frozen solid. It took me a while to get this thing to work nice and freely. But this is how I found it. This was in the bed of the thing when I got it, the machine. So it rotted off a bracket somewhere. I know where this goes. I know it mounts to... it mounts right here on the side panel. So you pull it up when you push it on the diff lock. You pull it and keep the diff lock down. I'm not really going to use that. It's only temporary use for the diff lock. You don't need it in. So you don't really need to lock it. But I did find this. This was hanging around. I put my own spring on it. So I got a spring there. So when you push down on the diff lock, oops, push down on the diff lock, sorry for this. See, there's a spring there that holds that diff lock engaged now. It's all adjusted. I adjusted it. It wasn't even working before. Wasn't even engaging. So now that's engaged. Now when you step down the diff lock again, it releases. Now I just got to hook the cable up with some type of, I don't know, put like a little pin in there or something, I guess. And I guess I have to find out where the bracket was mounted. I'm not sure where it rotted off of. I'll have to look on some pictures or something. I would assume it mounted somewhere down here. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of welding again. Not a big deal. That's just a tack weld. Other than that, because I can't weld. I mean, I got hurt and can't weld anymore, even though I try sometimes for emergencies. I can't do it. But it's not a big deal there. That could be done quick if somebody comes over and even helps me with it. 5 minutes. But yeah, guess that's it. Everything, like I said, this is coming back apart, so I can zinc prime the inside of that fender well. Put the molding inside of there underneath for the gap. Sealing this thing off as much as I can. Like I said, the doors. I think what I'm going to do with doors is get some aluminum, nice and lightweight. I'll make an aluminum frame out of the doors, make an aluminum frame for the doors. Then my idea is an old Jeep. Get a CJ Jeep top, an old top. Use the fabric and the material from a soft top on a Jeep. On a TJ Jeep. Use an old top. They already have windows and everything sewed into it. One of the side windows for the Jeeps would be perfect for right here, for the up and down. And the material's great. So if I can find some old TJ Jeep tops, soft tops, I'm going to use that for my door. Also, you can go to a marina. You can find some people that are changing their boat canopies in the back, and especially being, springtime coming up, people are changing their boat canopies. You could use a material from a boat. Same thing. As far as the back, at the salvage yard, they got sheets and sheets of Lexanite. Ever since the COVID thing, a lot of people took them sheets down, the plastic sheets. So I got some nice Lexanite I can use for an entire back window. I have the glass front window already. And then, like I said, to seal off everything else, I can use the Jeep, a TJ Jeep top. I think that'd be a great idea. But let me know what you think. Especially if anybody else has made doors before, let me know. This video's getting to be almost a half hour again. Look at that, right on the money. I gotta go, honey. Anyway, thanks again for watching. See you soon.